On October 11, 1840, in Nauvoo, Villette Kimball wrote a letter to her husband, Elder Heber C. Kimball, who with other members of the 12 was serving a mission in Great Britain. The October General Conference had been held a few days before. I quote from parts of Villette's personal letter. "We had the largest and most interesting conference that ever has been since the church was organized. President Joseph Smith has opened a new and glorious subject, that is, being baptized for the dead. Paul speaks of it in 1 Corinthians, 15th chapter, 29th verse. Joseph has received a more full explanation of it by revelation. He says it is the privilege of members of this church to be baptized for all their kinfolks that have died before this gospel came forth. By so doing, we act as agents for them and give them the privilege of coming forth in the first resurrection. He says they will have the gospel preached to them in prison." Villette added, "I want to be baptized for my mother. Is not this a glorious doctrine?" End of quote. The essential doctrine of uniting families came forth line upon line and precept upon precept. Vicarious ordinances are at the heart of welding together eternal families, connecting roots to branches. The doctrine of the family in relation to family history and temple work is clear. The Lord, in initial revelatory instructions, referred to baptism for your dead. Our doctrinal obligation is to our own ancestors. This is because the celestial organization of heaven is based on families. The First Presidency has encouraged members, especially youth and young single adults, to emphasize family history work and ordinances for their own family names, or the names of ancestors of their ward and stake members. We need to be connected to both our roots and branches. The thought of being associated in the eternal realm is indeed glorious.
I invite the young people of the church to learn about and experience the spirit of Elijah. I encourage you to study, to search out your ancestors, and to prepare yourselves to perform proxy baptisms in the house of the Lord for your kindred dead. And I urge you to help other people identify their family histories.
Now, of course, all of us have many pressing and important responsibilities that need our attention and time. All of us find parts of what the Lord expects us to do beyond our abilities. Fortunately, the Lord provides a way for each of us to gain confidence, and satisfaction in all our service, including family history service. We gain strength to do what He asks through our faith, that the Savior gives no commandment save He shall prepare a way for us, that we may accomplish the thing which He commandeth.
Consider the spiritual connections that are formed when a young woman helps her grandmother enter family information into a computer, or when a young man sees the name of his great-grandfather on a census record. When our hearts turn to our ancestors, something changes inside us. We feel part of something greater than ourselves. Our inborn yearnings for family connections are fulfilled when we are linked to our ancestors through sacred ordinances of the temple.